police back in the Dallas suburb of Allen to express her concern about the assault-style rifle her son had bought. She was worried about his maturity level and lack of experience in handling that kind of weapon, according to her lawyer. She was transferred to a public safety officer who told her that because her son is 21 years old and old enough to buy weapons, there was nothing the police could do. Crusius faces capital murder and possible domestic terrorism, firearms, and hate crime charges. Jim Ryan, ABC News, El Paso.
President Trump says he was greeted warmly when he visited the mass shooting sites on Wednesday.
The love, the respect for the office of the presidency, I wish you could have been in there to see it. I wish you could have been in there. And it was no different here.
However, there were many lining the streets along his motorcade, hundreds in El Paso.
The love.
I'm here to exercise my American right to protest against rhetoric that basically dehumanizes immigrants, people of color, and people that have been oppressed in this border for a very long time.
There were similar protests in Dayton. The president's supporters also turned out. Hundreds of undocumented immigrants arrested in one state.
600 immigration police swept through 7 chicken processing plants in Mississippi, arresting and loading onto buses 680 mostly Latino workers, taking them to a military aircraft hangar near Jackson for processing. It could be the largest operation of its kind in a single state, says the acting director of ICE.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson. More than 220 former altar boys, students, and Boy Scouts are suing Guam's Catholic Archdiocese, accusing priests and scoutmasters of sex abuse. A new UN scientific report says human-caused climate change is making food more expensive, scarcer, and less nutritious. You're listening to ABC News.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a 2-time survivor. And in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, they're MediShare members. And Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs. And that's how so many MediShare members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in. And like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join MediShare, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people. And if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different, and as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
4 people dead, 2 injured, and a suspect in custody after a series of stabbings in Orange County, California.
Police say all of the victims were attacked randomly and the motive was robbery. It started as a robbery call at a bakery and ended with the suspect allegedly killing a 7-Eleven security guard and taking his gun, says Garden Grove Police Lieutenant Carl Whitney.
It's just pure tragedy right now.
The alleged stabber was found inside that 7-Eleven. He gave up without a fight. There are close to a dozen crime scenes. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A man from Detroit died on Tuesday after being deported to a country he reportedly never lived in. Here's ABC's Dave Packer to explain.
He was born in Greece and came to the U.S. as a young child, where he spent most of his life. But although Jimmy Aldad never set foot in the country, the 41-year-old was an Iraqi national, and he got the attention of ICE. Politico reporting Aldad was swept up in intensified immigration efforts and deported to Iraq, where an immigration attorney close to the man's family says Aldad was unable to obtain insulin to treat his type 1 diabetes and died Tuesday. Aldad did not speak Arabic. Dave Packer, ABC News.
The Iowa State Fair begins today. That's traditional campaign time for politicians and every 4-year prerequisite for those running for the White House. So many of the Democrats hoping to unseat President Trump next fall will be in Des Moines. This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Phil Sheehan at NC Tractor and Farm Supply wants you to know he is back in business after the fire. New location, 299 Railroad Avenue, and it's a great time to get the tractor you've always wanted. Massey Ferguson, ask about 0% financing with approved credit. Get ready for a busy season with a visit to NC Tractor and Farm Supply in their new location, 299 Railroad Avenue. Phone them 288-0395.
Good Thursday morning. Mostly sunny skies are in the forecast today. A beautiful day, still hot outside, a little less humid with high temperatures in the lower 90s. Dry weather in the forecast today and into tonight as well. Mostly clear skies are in the forecast tonight with low temperatures falling into the upper 60s to 70 degrees. Looking ahead to your Friday, mostly sunny, a small chance of an evening storm. High temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
The only thing we could ask for to make this a more pleasant day for weather would be lower the temperature just a touch. Mostly sunny today with highs around 90. If we can have it at 78, you think that might be good. And light wind today about 6 miles per hour. Then tonight, back down to where we are right now, 66 degrees for the overnight low. Isolated thunderstorm possible tomorrow, but only a slight chance of that happening. Looks like about a 20-30% chance of that throughout the weekend. And the temperature is going to stay around 89 to 90 throughout the period. Again, right now, it's a beautiful, great getting up morning on this tremendous Thursday morning, and it's 66 degrees outside, 66 degrees. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting me shake you awake in the mornings and listening to 100.9 FM or AM 590, either one. The best of both worlds, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Elizabeth Freeman Clements, age 91, of Union Mills, died Tuesday at Oak Grove Healthcare. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services for Elizabeth Freeman Clements. Hazel Spears, age 82, of Rutherfordton, passed away Friday at Willow Ridge Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. At the request of the family, no formal services will be conducted, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with those arrangements for Hazel Spears of Rutherfordton. And Billy C. Metcalf, a resident of Salt Lake City, Utah, died March 23rd. A celebration of his life will be held Saturday, August 10th at 1 o'clock at Spencer Baptist Church. The family will receive friends following the service in the Family Life Center. Crow's Mortuary is serving the family of Billy C. Metcalf. Those are the death announcements we have this morning in-house. The complete information of these and others as they become available to us can be heard at 11:30 when we do the full obituary program, and then again at 5:10 this afternoon as part of the afternoon report on WCAB in Rutherfordton, serving the community with AM and FM signals touching 10 counties across the Fruited Plain. Thank you for tuning in to WCAB. The Braves had a good day yesterday. They apparently played better in the daylight. They won over the Twins 11-7. They had lost to the Twins on Monday 5-3, but they did okay yesterday. They were moving to Miami now, playing the Braves and the Miami Marlins, and we'll join that pregame following news at 6. You'll have the game all the way through the Braves season. Well, Anchor Down in Forest City is having a big sale, big store-wide sale. You heard me talk about this. I hope you've been able to go by there. You'll find Anchor Down store right downtown, right across the street from Carolina Chiropractic. And everything in the store is 50% off. 50% off, folks. And boy, do they have the store full. They have furniture. They have name-brand clothes from birth to plus sizes. They have men's clothes, too. They have dishes and tapes and electronics, everything you need for home and more. Why don't you go by and just take a look, see what you think. 155 West Main Street, Forest City, on the corner of Main Street and Young Street in downtown Forest City. Right across from Carolina Chiropractic, you'll find Anchor Down store having a big store-wide 50% off sale going on this month. So don't dare miss that one. You'll wish you'd gone by several times. All right, stand by. We have the Rush Limbaugh Morning Update coming up here in just a few moments, and then we'll go to the phones in just a few minutes, find out what's been happening overnight while we slept on a Call Around News
Board
report.
just slammed one of their own radical leftists. They hammered California Governor Gavin Newsom for signing a bill to keep Trump off the March 2020 primary ballot unless he releases his tax returns by this November. The Post echoed what I told you last week. This California law is unconstitutional on its face. The Post cited a 1995 Supreme Court ruling that stops states from imposing their own qualifications on federal candidates. But that's not the only reason these lefty editors attack Newsom and the Trump-hating Looney Tunes in California's Democrat legislature. They're also worried that the new law could unleash a partisan backlash beyond California. They are afraid that Republicans could play tit for tat. Other states might start demanding health records, high school report cards, college transcripts. They might even demand to see candidates' birth certificates. Oh, no. Democrats wouldn't like that one bit. So, yeah, this current crop of Democrat presidential candidates is out and proud with their crazy left policy positions, but there are still plenty of skeletons in their closets that they want to keep hidden that the Washington Post doesn't want any of us to ever find out about. Hey, folks, if you can't find the time to do all those small jobs around your home or office, do what I do. Hire it done. I know a company that can help. It's called Tackle. It's spelled T-A-K-L. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and it connects you with people who can help you with jobs around your home or office. Now, here's how it works. You download the Tackle app on your phone, and you pick a provider for the work that you need done. Tackle has thousands of providers that have been background checked. Tackle will provide affordable upfront pricing, and all jobs are backed by the Tackle guarantee. And if you need additional help in the future, like yard work, cleaning a pool, mounting a TV, cleaning gutters, packing furniture, whatever, find it on the Tackle app. It's easy. Download the Tackle app now. Again, it's spelled T-A-K-L on your phone, and use the promo code RUSH to get 15% off your first project. Download the Tackle app at the Apple Store. Be like me, folks. Hire this stuff done.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You can relive them again here on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. WCAB.
Is it time to replace your doors and windows, or do you have a new construction project coming up? Let David Allen at Henson Building Materials help you with your projects. With over 50 years of experience in the construction field, David can help you plan your project, price out the materials, and help you find the best products available. Let David show you our new showroom where your vision becomes a reality before the first nail goes in. We're Henson Building Materials. Remember, we're more than just a lumber yard.
Well, there's still plenty of time, plenty of warm weather to enjoy a good old churn of homemade ice cream, right? Well, if you do not have one that you can rely on, depend on, head on over to Washburn Store because they've got them. Electric and the hand-turned ice cream freezers. Now, those hand-turned ice cream freezers will bring back a lot of memories for some of you and teach the kiddos what it was like in your day to turn a churn of ice cream. Seems like it freezes more solid when you do that. So get either the hand-turned or electric or both. They have a shipment of straw hats available for those of you working out in the sun. You go by Washburn Store, Outback rough leather hats. You got those wind chimes that are so nice to have. Check on the honey selection. and candies all the time at Washburn Store. Now check on that new train they've got running too. New steam engine. It was bought for Edward's birthday some weeks ago, and everybody's loving the new train at Washburn Store. So come aboard, everybody.
Harry Tracy was a sullen-looking, thin-lipped punk with deep-set, icy blue eyes who seemed to be always looking for someone to offend him. And plenty of people did, many of them paying the ultimate price. He spent some time in Wyoming's gang headquarters called Hole in the Wall, associating with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. But in a short time, wearing thin on everyone, he left the hole in the wall and engaged in some cattle rustling of his own. After a short stint in the Aspen, Colorado jail, it was short only because Harry escaped before his sentence was up. Harry headed up to Oregon, where he teamed up with David Merrill, and the two of them engaged in a pastime of rolling drunks and killing those who resisted. In 1899, Harry and David were arrested, tried, and convicted. Harry got 20 years, his buddy got 13. But Harry and David got an early release with the aid of a rifle and sawed-off shotgun that were smuggled in by a woman admirer. During the escape process, 3 guards were killed. The third, used as a hostage, Harry shot in the back of the head. In the following weeks, while evading the law, the pathological Harry Tracy, feeling his buddy David Merrill was weakening in his resolve, shot and killed him. Finally, on August 5, 1902, Harry Tracy was cornered in a Washington wheat field. He had been shot in the arm and twice in a leg. Realizing he was unable to run any longer and that the posse wasn't going to give up, especially after the 7 men he had just killed, Mad Dog Harry Tracy gallantly took his own life. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Well, let's get off and running this morning on this Thursday morning to find out what's been happening over the past 24 hours or so. And we've contacted the sheriff this morning. Sheriff Chris Francis is on the phone to give us an update. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. That was a nice tribute to our good friend Colonel Bergen yesterday with the flag presentation from Congressman, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I tell you what, he's a special man. I appreciate listening to hear him talk and the stories he has to tell, the memories that he has.
Yes, some great stories. I try to encourage him to write a book.
It would be a good read for sure.
It sure would. Tell us what's on your list this morning.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Ruff County Sheriff's Office responded to 118 calls for service. There were 7 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 185. Among those arrested, Daryl LeJohn Landrum, 45-year-old male of Marion, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear, received a $10,000 secure bond. David Leon Hollifield, 46-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear in larceny, received a $4,000 secure bond. Charles Andrew Bridges, 24-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear in NOL, received a $4,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had larcenies of motor vehicle on Big Island Road. There was a yellow and purple Honda CVR 600 motorcycle displaying a tag of 7M5143, valued at $1,500. Also, a black Honda CVR 600 displaying a tag of 556 SPD, valued at $3,500, that was pushed off from an apartment complex there off of Big Island Road early yesterday morning. We have a larceny at Earl's Way, Ruston, a registration plate, which was PCB 8785, valued at $28, was stolen or missing. We have a attempted B&E on Baber Road. Someone attempted to pry open the garage, but appeared to be unsuccessful. And I also have a B&E off of Pea Ridge Road, but I do not have all the information on that one at this time. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
All right, Sheriff, I do appreciate that report, and thank you for being with us on this radio this morning, and you have a great day, and be safe out there.
My pleasure. Take care, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 19 minutes after 7.
If you haven't been to the Recliner Center lately, well, let me tell you, there's a lot of changes going on and a big secret, but that's going to be revealed later. But for now, I can reveal all the great merchandise that you'll find at the Recliner Center. You know, it's back to school time. That means a lot of time on the road, football, dance, basketball, and you still got a lot of yard work still yet to do, and your back is going to need all the help it can get. How about a new mattress from the Recliner Center? The kids are going to be bringing friends over. How about a redo in the family room? A new couch, love seat, rocker recliner. Recliners from small to big boy sizes. Do you or a loved one have difficulty standing? Well, the Recliner Center has a great selection of different styles and colors of lift chairs. Some of these chairs allow you to be able to get your feet above your head, offering comfort, style, security, and standing, and locally owned and operated. That's the Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. Don't forget the Recliner Center's new hours, Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays, 9 to 2.
Bill is with us this morning on the radio from the Communications Center to give us the report over there. Bill, good morning. How you doing?
Just fine, sir. And you?
Good, thank you. What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 397 911 calls and administrative calls, which consist of 29 for EMS, 34 for rescue, 118 for the Sheriff's Office, 74 for Forest City, 29 for Rutherford, 1 for Lake Lure, and 47 for Spindale. Under fire calls, Green Hill had a structure fire assisted by Shingahala, Bills Creek, and Lake Lure. The town of Rutherford had a motor vehicle accident, and Union Mills also had a motor vehicle accident. That's all.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Thanks. You know, breast cancer is the second most common kind of cancer in women. About 1 in 8 women born today in the United States will get breast cancer at some point. Many women can survive breast cancer if it's found and treated early. A mammogram can help find breast cancer early when it's easiest to treat. If an abnormality is detected on your screening mammogram, a variety of diagnostic procedures are available to determine if your spot or lump is cancerous. Image-guided biopsies, ultrasounds, and surgical biopsies can be performed by board-certified surgeons from Rutherford Surgical Associations on an outpatient basis. So take the first step in breast health and visit the Mammography Place at Rutherford Regional Health System. The Mammography Place is here to help with the caring staff and the most modern digital technology. You can schedule your own mammogram by calling 828-286-5380. Here's Ruby Taylor with the report from the SDO, Shiloh, Danieltown, Oakland Community Fire District. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on that report?
Well, the fire department was quiet. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Nancy Melton having a birthday and hope she has a nice day. Mr. and Miss Steve Hill is having an anniversary and hope they have a nice day. Signs are in the dies today and tomorrow. And, Jim, that's all I got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Now let's head up toward Rumning Bowl this morning on a beautiful Thursday morning. Let's talk with Steve, see what's happening up there. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Jim, I got to make it brief, too. I got to have a meeting with this gentleman that just pulled up.
Okay.
But we're getting ready for the Olympiad, and we're full go this morning, getting all prepped up.
All right.
So we over the last 24 hours, it's been fairly quiet, no calls to my recollection, and it's 67 degrees this morning. So we're just making those last-minute preparations, but a Duke contractor just pulled up, and I got to find out where he's going and what he's doing because it's a 2-month project inside our resort, and I'll be pass that out on tomorrow or the next week. Yeah.
Yeah, you better get with him then.
Yeah, because everybody's going to be asking me questions.
Yeah, I'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Man on duty this morning, working hard. 24 minutes past the hour of 7. right here on the morning wake-up call for a Thursday morning.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have the proven record of the best deal. It's your place to shop for your truck. Get a good look at the selection of SUVs, Escapes, Edge, and Explorers. Sisk Family Ford can put you in the family car or truck of your choice any day you want to make a change. Try one on for a ride. Make your next deal a Sisk Family Ford deal. Shop local and get your best agreement for the next automobile. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
When you need daycare services for your adult loved one, Rutherford Life Services is always there for a dependable and loving environment. Rutherford Life offers a place to go during the daytime for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and creative activities. Caregivers can go to work knowing that their loved one is in a safe and reliable place. Rutherford Life is licensed by the North Carolina Division of Aging. Rutherford Life has a full staff of trained professionals who show love and support. Call them today and let them answer any questions you may have concerning adult daycare services. 828-288-1697 or visit the facility at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Hudlow Fire District, here we come. Bob Hodge, good morning.
Well, good Thursday morning.
I tell you, it's a beautiful morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's going to get hot after a while, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Be having to hunt shade tree there.
We may have to just come up and jump in your swimming pool after a while, Bob.
Well, that might have to there. Oh, I don't know. I might sink before I can swim there. Oh, but Jim, it does look like it's going to be a nice day and everything. But it's that typical August weather there, so. Well, it's hot weather. It ain't going to hang around too long. We're going to be getting that cooler weather here for long. So
you're right.
Long about January, we'll be wanting some of this. So, But, Jim, up here with the fire department, we've answered a couple of medical calls. I want to say happy birthday to Curtis Hodge and Mike Long this morning. And, Jim, that's about it. Things are going along good up here this morning, and maybe it'll stay that way, and I hope you have a real good day over there.
Bob, I appreciate it. You too, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
All right,
Bye-bye.
And you can catch Bob Hodge most afternoons also with the Afternoon Report here on WCAB. It's 27 now past the hour of 7 o'clock. You know, I'm so proud to have a company like Miracle Ear as part of our family of advertisers here on the Morning Report because they have such a worldwide positive reputation. It's the company that has over 70 years of worldwide service. It's an American-made product. I like that part. And Lisa Terry, the hearing specialist here, I like that part. She's helping a lot of your friends and mine with their hearing. Now, if you are noticing symptoms from someone you love, it may be time to turn to Miracle Ear. Lisa is a licensed hearing instrument specialist. She loves her patients. Her patients love her. She has a real desire to help you if you think you might have a hearing loss. You may not need an instrument. If you don't, you'll never be forced into something you don't want. But call Lisa and set up that free hearing test. It's available for you just by calling and making an appointment. If you do feel like you need a hearing instrument, they make them so small anymore you hardly even know they're there, but boy, what a difference it makes. Hear that grandson call on you, that granddaughter saying things to you, someone whisper that special something in your ear. Remember, a hearing loss is more noticeable than a hearing instrument. So call Miracle Ear today. That phone number is 447-7716.
Save-A-Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale has hundreds of super low prices on most of your favorite name brand items. They have 500 plus prices lowered across the entire store. Stock up on fresh meats, produce, frozen foods, snack foods, and your favorite beverages and pastries. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 8. Save-A-Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale.
Now here's the Cherry Mountain Fire District report given to us by Sue Price. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How are everything in your world today?
Well, I think everything's going pretty good. As far as I know, didn't have any calls from the fire department, so that's a good thing. And I started out at 64 degrees this morning, so it was nice out there right now, but the old sun's coming up, and it's going to get hot again today. But this is summertime. We're just enjoy it. And let's see, I have one birthday on my calendar for Sandy Green, so I hope Sandy's going to have a good day. And I don't have anything on the other two calendars for today, so not too many celebrating, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day today. And in my announcements, on Saturday, August 17th, from 5:30 to 8 at First Broad Baptist Church, they're going to be having a back-to-school celebration for children and teens. They'll have pizza, they'll have a worship service, they'll have a water slide. It says bring a change of clothes because you're going to get wet probably. And then the chopped sirloin steak dinner coming up at Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse from 4 to 8 p.m. That's Saturday, August 24th. Adults are $10, 6 to 12, $5, and under 6 is free. And that's sponsored by the Hopewell Hollis Ruatan Club. So good supper coming up over there. And so far, I believe that's the only announcements I have. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day as well. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
A lot of big news coming our way soon. A big car show, of course, in Forest City is always a big, and we'll talk more about that later closer into it. So stand by for more details on that big car show. Right now, we're going over to Drop-In Family Grocery in Boston and talk with Audrey Allman. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, Jim. How are you today?
I'm glad it's Thursday.
Oh, me too. Looking forward to Friday.
What's going on over there?
Well, the girls are back cooking breakfast this morning, and we've got a special going on right now on the sausage biscuits. You can get 2 for $3.50, and that does, run at any of our drop-in stores throughout the county. And for lunch, they're doing a 2-piece thigh meal, which is $4.49 for lunch every day or late afternoon. They just want to stop and pick it up in the afternoon. That's great also. But if they don't want these specials, the girls have a good chicken biscuit back there, gravy biscuit, a good ham biscuit, just any kind of biscuit you would really want. And we'd like for everybody to stop by and see us this morning.
Now, how late is your deli open for a meal?
Oh, I think, Jim, they actually cook till about 7:30 at night.
Oh, okay, good. People can go on the way home buy supper then.
That's right. Just stop in, and, the girls, they're still cooking pizzas, I think, from 7 to 7:30. And, if you want to call in advance, just call, and there's, when you call the number, it will ask which extension you need, and just hit 2 for the deli, and the girls will be back there and fix them right up and have it ready.
Great, fantastic. I bet you got a winner this morning, too, don't you?
Yes, we do. On our 2 free fillets this week and the 2 baked potatoes and a salad, we have a Nelson Brown.
Nelson Brown.
Yes, he is our lucky Friday winner on that. So, he needs to contact us, and we'll be calling him this morning, trying to get in touch with him on his, win there. And I know Lee and John has got this little thing they're doing with Hiding the Rock, again, going on the little painted rock, and it will have the drop-in logo on it. And the first clue comes out today, which is going to be, this could be your field of dreams.
This could be your Field of Dreams.
Right, and it will be on our Facebook page and all. And whoever finds this rock now, they need to take it to the drop-in office because it's a $100 winner.
Wow, that's good. That'll create some excitement around people looking for the rock.
Yes, it will.
This could be your Field of Dreams. Okay.
Right.
All right, Audrey, that sounds exciting. I'm glad to have an opportunity to talk with you today, and I look forward to seeing you back here again on Tuesday.
All right, Jim. Have a good weekend.
You too, Audrey. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Drop-in store there in Bostic, on Bostic Sunshine Highway, and look for that rock out there and win yourself $100, courtesy of the drop-ins. 7:35 this morning. We're going to go to our next phone call right after we do this.
Southern Carpet is the showplace for your floor covering needs. For example, life-proof luxury vinyl plank and tile, waterproof, pet, and kid-friendly. Southern Carpet has all grades of carpet in stock for your home or apartment. Names like Shaw, Dreamweaver, Mohawk, Tarkett, IVC, and so much more. It's a showplace of quality carpet and floor covering. For the best selection in town, depend on Southern Carpet and get great installation prices. Come see Clayton or Jeff for your flooring needs. They'll floor you. 1512 West Main Street in Forest City and on the web at southerncarpet.net.
McCurry-Dake Motors has been providing the stylish Buick for families for generations. Come browse a new selection and you'll find the car that everybody's talking about. The family-owned dealership is deeply entrenched in our community. They understand the needs of the customers and will work with them to find the perfect car, truck, or crossover for their lives. Experience the new Buick at McCurry-Dake Motors. Take a look around the website to learn more about everything offered at McCurry-Dake Motors, 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. Good folks over there to buy a car from. I'll tell you right now, those folks are doing business a long, long time. I've bought several cars from them, as a matter of fact. 7:36 here this Thursday morning. Let's head up toward UM and talk with Brenda Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific Thursday?
It's a terrific Thursday, and I'm happy.
That's right. It ain't long to Friday, is it?
That's right. And then Saturday morning.
There you go. That rock that the drop-in's going to hide, did she say that would be somewhere in Far City or just somewhere in the county?
I think, I think it might be in the county. I'm not sure. I'll have to verify that. But since they have stores all over the county,
that's right, they do.
I thought they might be somewhere out there. So I don't know. It's a good.
They don't have one in Spindale or Ruffton.
They don't have one in Union Mills.
No, they don't. That's right. There ain't much place up here to put one.
But they have one in Sandy Mush.
Yeah, and the one down there on, where Hudlow comes out on 74 there, they got a drop-in and got that in Bostic, and they got one down there on the way to your house, ain't they?
Yeah, Sandy Mush area. Shiloh, they got one.
Yeah.
There's 5 or 6 of them, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to tell you one thing. They have some good chicken.
You said that right.
I love that chicken.
Yeah, they sell a lot of it, too. Those wings are especially very, very popular.
Yeah, she said that it could be your Field of Dreams, and I'm thinking a ball field.
That's a good way to start. Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good clue though. Your Field of Dreams.
But anyway, we hope everybody's having a good Thursday morning. Birthdays today, I've got Carlela P. Lynch, Linda Ashley, and Joshua Davis. I don't have anybody on round here, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, the Gilkey School Community Center will have a buffet breakfast. That's this Saturday, the 10th, starting at 7 a.m., goes to 10 a.m. Adults is $6, kids 6 to 12, $3, kids 5 and under eat free. And money goes to help support the community center. And other than that, I don't have anything. It's just short, sweet, and quiet.
If we had one of those rock finders, like you look for metal in the beach on the beach when you go to the beach and have that metal thing.
Yeah.
Click. If we had one of those rock finders, we could go around and pan all over these ball fields around.
There you go.
See if we can find that rock.
It'd be covered with people, wouldn't it? And it's a what?
Yeah.
If you find it, it's $100.
That's right. Yeah.
That's good, ain't it?
That's worth looking for.
It is, exactly, yeah. I think that's a good thing that they do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, you ready for your trip?
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving after I do the morning report in the morning.
You all packed?
Yes.
Good.
And I've got a list of stuff just to make sure I've got it.
By we're always last minute packing when we go somewhere. My sister-in-law and married to my brother, we travel with them sometime, and she always gets ready 2 weeks ahead of time.
Well, I try to.
I just can't get rid of that. So I want, because I want to make sure the weather's going to be just right and all those things.
Well, it don't matter if you're going, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, but you want to make sure if you need to carry a rain jacket or no.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. I don't ever carry a rain jacket. I ain't going to melt. I might rust, but I ain't going to melt.
And I need to decide if I'm going to carry my Speedos or not.
Oh, my goodness, Jim, you won't do.
Leslie, you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You have a good one. We'll catch you later.
Bye-bye. It's 7:40 here on this Thursday morning. WCAB Morning Report continues right after this.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, join us a little after 9 o'clock this morning for the Classic Oldies Show here on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Music that folks are loving. It brings back a lot of memories from your days in high school or days in college and days when you first met your lover and sweetheart and those kind of opportunities. So we bring back a lot of memories, a little positive memories for many, and sometimes there'll be a little sad note in there maybe. But join us from 9 o'clock until 11:30, and then after Rush, we pick back up again with Classic Oldies. It's been a hit, and we thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice for the Foothills. And we thank Luther Gilligan for being on the radio with us from Ellenboro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chuck. You're having a good day?
I'm having a wonderful day.
Good, me too. It's nice down here. Sun's coming up through the trees, it's shining. We're ready to go. Go out and have a good time today. But it's quiet down here this morning. Nothing going on. Well, it didn't a whole lot going on yesterday. Probably had one back about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Other than that, they've been quiet. Got to sleep all night last night. Didn't have to go out. Everybody just get their biscuit or gas. They heading on out to work this morning. Nothing going on there, but we won't wish happy birthday to Miss Wanda Richard. She's having a birthday today. So we hope Wanda has a great day and enjoys her day. And Jim, nothing else going on down here. Hope you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I appreciate it, Luther. Have a good day, and I'll see you then.
All right, take care.
Bye. Well, it's time for birthdays and anniversaries here on the program. 287-3356 is the phone number to call. And those folks celebrating, we put you together and have a drawing, and then we give away some donuts. And somebody's going to win some donuts this morning from compliments of Granny B's Bakery. 287-3356. Let's have a birthday party. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Happy
birthday. Well, happy birthday to Jeannie Ross over in Forest City, Kelly Hammond in Forest City, Brandon Burnett up at Lake Lures, 31 today. Don Randall over in Sandy Mush is having a birthday. And Kim Murray up in Sunshine works for DSS, also celebrating today. And on this 8th day of August, Calliope Leach is having a birthday. Linda Atchley and Joshua Davis. So a lot of folks born on this day, and we celebrate with you. We'll have a drawing for the cake. No cake anymore. It's the donuts. We'll have a drawing for the donuts here in just a moment. Do you have another one? Dean Cole over in Forest City also celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday, everybody. William Gilbert also having a birthday today.
Have you ever wondered how such feelings of love and warmth at the time of marriage can be turned upside down and end in divorce? I located a piece in InfoSearch that describes some things that happened during the downward spiral from ecstasy to agony. They go as follows. She married him because he had such a powerful personality. She divorced him because he was such a dominating male. He married her because she was so fragile and petite. He divorced her because she was so weak and helpless. She married him because he knows how to provide a good living. She divorced him because all he thinks about is business. He married her because she reminds me of my mother. He divorced her because she's getting more like my mother every day. She married him because he was happy and romantic. She divorced him because he was shiftless and fun-loving. He married her because she was steady and sensible. He divorced her because she was boring and dull. She married him because he was the life of the party. She divorced him because he never wants to come home from a party. You see, the very things that brought us together can drive us apart if we don't nurture and care for one another. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
Congratulations to Kim Murray up in Sunshine, works at DSS. She won the Daylight Donuts this morning from the drawing, and Kim will have that certificate over here waiting for you. Kim Murray of Sunshine, a winner now of the delicious donuts from Granny B's. Coming up next hour is the hour for Dr. Bob in the Blue Room, taking your questions on living healthy naturally. And we'll have that program and take your questions anytime you want to call them in. And we put them in order that they come in for Dr. Bob to answer. And he'll do that from his vast years of being a medical doctor as well as a psychiatrist and the author of the book, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdote. And he'll talk to you about your questions at 8:30 this morning. Meanwhile, push your tables back, move the chairs out of the way, make sure the coffee pot's out of the way.
Till we tear the house down. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah. You should see my darling sister. She really knows how to rock. She knows how to twist. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby. Just like this. Come on with this. And do the twist. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Twist on down. Twist. Someday when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. You're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. Whoa, 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 whoa. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And your laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. You're lovely and never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you just the way you look tonight. The way you look
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. It seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Love was out to get saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. Said I'm a believer, yeah, 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 yeah.
The music's on us on Thursday on WCAB.
Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have, and maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. And maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died, and give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. I'll keep you satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
Stand by. All the latest news coming up next with our networks. Top of the hour.
WCAB.
From ABC News. A I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump is back in Washington following trips to both Dayton and El Paso. In both cities, people are still processing the mass shootings that left 31 dead.
The president has visited Dayton. The streets of the Oregon district are reopened, and the media that's been clogging up this entertainment district will soon be leaving. But for Katie Howerton, the nightmare of the shooting will remain. She lives next to Ned Peppers and watched the tragedy unfold from her apartment.
And the door's open, and there's 3 dead people right there. And 3 dead people right here. And they were hiding in our stoop.
Howerton admits she's traumatized. The Red Cross has been offering assistance. There's also a 24/7 disaster distress helpline. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Dayton.
ABC's Jim Ryan is in El Paso.
As he did after the Santa Fe high school shootings, Governor Greg Abbott has vowed to convene a roundtable of lawmakers and public safety experts to look at potential solutions.
We need to also ensure that guns are not in the hands of deranged killers.
With his 100% rating from the National Rifle Association, Abbott has resisted previous efforts to change Texas gun laws. Jim Ryan, ABC News, El Paso.
President Trump says he is seriously considering pardoning former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, the man who was sent to prison for 14 years for trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat. A new UN climate change report talking about what might happen if the direction of global emissions doesn't change.
Our future, UN scientists say, looks hungry. Human-caused climate change, they contend, is dramatically degrading the land, while the way we use the land is making global warming worse. And that, they say, produces a nasty combination that's already making food more expensive, scarcer, and even less nutritious.
ABC's Tom Rivers at the Foreign Desk. Nearly 700 undocumented immigrants arrested at 7 poultry plants across Mississippi yesterday. You're listening to ABC News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. Invest in your future and buy oil. Encore is drilling in an area that is potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the entire country. Oil prices are projected to rise, so you need to own a piece of an oil field. Encore Energy is the most active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-803-8511. You'll be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles says she is reminded every day of the abuse she and her teammates suffered at the hands of former Olympic doctor Larry Nassar. And as she trains for another Olympic Games, she's making it clear she blames USA Gymnastics.
It's hard coming here for an organization and having had them fail us so many times. And we had won gold. We've done everything that they asked us for.
You had one job, she says, and you failed. Tomorrow marks 5 years since the fatal police shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, the city just outside St. Louis, about to see some major economic changes soon.
Health and Homes STL is a nonprofit organization comprised of St. Louis companies. The $80 million development, called the West Flow District, will feature businesses aimed at improving conditions for residents, such as banks, a grocery store, and a healthcare facility. The plan also includes upgrades to infrastructure like new sidewalks and streetlights and should be completed in about 3 years. Todd Sauter, ABC News, St. Louis.
Her name is Deborah Jackson. She was from Abilene, Texas, and she was 23 years old. She would have been 63 now if she hadn't been found murdered with wearing nothing but a pair of orange socks when her body was discovered. Police in Georgetown, Texas, not far from Austin, using DNA technology this week to finally identify Deborah Jackson. Convicted killer Henry Lee Lucas claimed to have killed her and about 600 other people. It's not ever been proven. This is ABC News.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Sherry, press.
Good morning. You can leave your umbrella at home today. Dry weather will return to the forecast with mostly sunny skies and high temperatures in the lower 90s this afternoon. Still a hot day, but a little less humid today. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures fall into the upper 60s to 70 degrees tonight. A mostly sunny day tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s, but a small chance of a storm returns tomorrow evening. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Kat. It's 67 degrees. Currently, we pretty much remain 66, 67 pretty much all morning, but it will start climbing in just a few hours. It'll start climbing up the charts, and by noontime, it'll probably be around 90. That's our expected high today, around 90, then dropping back to 67 by where we are right now tonight. And tomorrow, we can look for more isolated thunderstorms developing, and slight chance on Saturday and Sunday only, about 30% Saturday and Sunday, about 20%. So it's a pretty good weekend overall, looks like, in our weather forecast in this first full week of August as we close out the week this coming week. And who knows what may arise in the rest of the month of August. This August is traditionally the hot month. But we'll follow that for you. Be sure to stay tuned right here to WCAB. Congratulations to Kim Murray of Sunshine. Kim won the Daylight Donuts this morning from the drawing, and she works over at DSS. So Kim will have that certificate over here for you. Stop by and pick that up and enjoy those delicious donuts. Dr. Bob's in this morning at 8:30 here in the Blue Room, taking questions about living healthy naturally. We'll find out what Dr. Bob has on his agenda in addition to your questions this morning, about 25 minutes away from right now. But I got news from here and there right after this.
Hello from all of us at Smith's Drugs in downtown Forest City. Check out our newly remade website at smithsdrugsfc.com and see how you can download our mobile app to make refilling your prescription so easy. You can create multiple profiles for everyone in your family and send refill notices anytime, saving you from calling in or leaving messages. Check out our Facebook page and see new items from the gift shop and on-sale items that can include t-shirts, leggings, shoes, toys, and other seasonal gifts. Our home medical equipment department at Smith's Drugs has all of your CPAP therapy needs for supplies that include filters, tubings, and masks, as well as our 2 respiratory therapists to help you get the full benefits of your CPAP and answer any questions or concerns that you are having. We also have lift chairs, diabetic shoes, and offer mastectomy services here at Smith's Drugs. Also, we have daily specials in our old-fashioned soda fountain at just $3.99 for breakfast and $5.99 for lunch. And we can help you with some fried pound cake and ice cream or milkshakes for dessert. We also want to thank all of Rutherford County for your loyal support and trust that has allowed us to serve you since 1939. Thank you to Rutherford County and Forest City from all of us at Smith's Drugs at 139 East Main Street.
Thank you very much, Pam. We do appreciate that. Now let's look at some stories from here and there. The Daily Courier is reporting in their Wednesday edition of the Daily Courier about the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners and the Spindale Town Council met jointly Monday evening, and Brian King told us a little bit about this. They met and approved matching grant funds that may lead to more jobs in the county. After the joint public hearing, both boards agreed to share the matching fund requirement of a building reuse existing business building grant being prepared on behalf of Fountain Electric Company in Spindale. The grant is through the North Carolina Department of Commerce. The grant would provide $200,000 for Fountain Electric to expand its facilities located on Callahan-Coon Road in Spindale. County officials agreed that each would provide $5,000 to cover the $10,000 match required. According to Birgit Dilgert of Rutherford County Economic Development, the matching funds have to be secured before the grant can be filed. Dilgert said Fountain Electric expects the expansion will create 10-15 jobs. So congratulations to them. Also at the meeting, as more than a dozen supporters of looked on clad in PAWS, P-A-W-S, Pets Are Worth Saving T-shirts. 2 people spoke at the county commissioners meeting detailing the work of PAWS and seeking county funding. PAWS is one of several animal rescue groups operating in Rutherford County. Janice Mitchell, founder of the organization, said Paul started the no-kill shelter movement in Rutherford County. We want to stop the killing of animals just because they are homeless. Mitchell was speaking during the public comment portion of the meeting and was not officially on the board meeting agenda. So they talked about that in pretty much in terms of saving animals. There's one other story in the paper maybe we can share. Manufactured homes can be used as accessory buildings, accessory dwellings in Forest City's R20 zone area, according to an article in the paper. Forest City OKs mobile homes as accessory dwellings for R20. Town leaders voted unanimously for the allowance at the board's regularly scheduled meeting Monday night. A text amendment will make way for the change in area zone for residential agriculture. Resident Jeffrey H. Wells had applied for the change to accommodate an aging relative to be able to live in a mobile home on the backside of his Mount Pleasant Road property. Town officials found the request to be consistent with the Forest City's land use plan and okayed that particular part. Office of the State Controller released June financial reports for the fiscal year 2019. When compared to the prior year through June 30th, North Carolina experienced an increase in general fund receipts, which include tax and non-tax receipts. Tax revenues increased by $1.2 billion, or 5.3%, and non-tax revenues increased by $60.8 million, or 6.5%, as compared to the previous year. The general fund's unreserved fund balance as of June 2019 was $1.7 billion, as compared to $995.3 billion as June of 18. So state's doing quite well, fiscally speaking, anyway. A federal judge last week approved a settlement that would allow transgender people access to more public restrooms in North Carolina. Campaign for Southern Equality Director Allison Scott said, while this is a great step forward in North Carolina for all LGBTQ people, discrimination does not stop or start at the bathroom. Scott said discrimination happens regularly to her and others in the LGBTQ community. Scott said, I know that with the discrimination that I face in my life, and along with the stories that we have heard from the other LGBTQ people, we know that this is going on all the time. A settlement signed Tuesday by a federal judge aims to stop discrimination in state-owned bathrooms like highway rest stops and most state offices in downtown Raleigh. Scott said that's not enough. The settlement does not allow local governments to grant transgender men and women access to restrooms they identify with unless the legislature repeals HB 142. In 2017, Governor Roy Cooper signed HB 142 into law. It was a revision of HB 2, a controversial bill by former Republican Governor Pat McCrory that passed in 2016. According to Scott, discrimination continues. Scott said, I saw new ways that people were being really hateful to me, new ways people were trying to cause barriers for me just to exist in the world. While Scott sees the new settlement as a step in the right direction, she's asking lawmakers to add protection everywhere. I and others in our community need to see these protections put into place to fight the inequities that we see every day. The settlement could also end protracted lawsuits filed by transgender people against North Carolina's bathroom bill and the law that replaced it. So they're still out there trying to make it okay for someone along the highway, Interstate 85, stopping at a rest home. Man decides he really feels like he'd rather be a woman. He can go in your restroom there on Interstate 85 or 26, wherever you happen to be, or vice versa. A woman could go into a men's restroom. So they're never going to let her rest till somebody stands up and says, it ain't going to happen no more. It ain't going to happen no more. But we're short on leadership with boldness. The North Carolina people voted to make it a men's restroom or women's restroom, not a bisexual, where I want to go to the women's restroom because I feel like a woman today. But the governor vetoed that, and he thinks it's okay to do that, to go to whatever restroom you want to feel like going to today. So we still need leadership with some strong backbone. Well, here's a Catholic priest speaking out about being afraid to speak about God. A Florida Catholic priest told a recent political gathering that leaving God out of politics is illogical, immoral, and un-American. Politics is something that pastors usually stay away from, Father Michael Orsi said. However, if your pastor is staying away from politics, tell him he's an illegitimate pastor, he said. The reason I say that is because politics affect our lives. And when we talk about our lives, we necessarily have to remind ourselves that we are called to be moral creatures. And the important part about politics is that God is important in our political life, Orsi said. A lot of people think it's not chic to talk about God. He told the Collier County, Florida Republican Executive Committee in a July meeting that was published on YouTube August 2nd. Let me tell you, if you want to win, I think it's time that you talk openly about God, the priest said. Openly because that's what people's hearts are, and people know what's right when they hear the truth. So that's Father Michael Orsi. He says, without God guaranteeing you your rights, who gives you your rights? The state? The politician? God gives you your rights. They are anchored in God, he said. Well, there's one man of the cloth that's willing to speak up. Now, back to the shooting. The sister of a couple that was shot to death during their rampage at a Walmart in El Paso on Saturday lashed out at unnamed local Democrat politicians for saying that President Trump is not welcome in their city. Trump, of course, visited Dayton and El Paso on Wednesday, where he is expected was expected to meet with local officials, and he did, first responders and survivors of the shootings. Andre and Jordan Ancondo were slaughtered while shielding their 2-month-old son from the killer's gunfire. A GoFundMe campaign has been set up for the couple's 3 children. In a Facebook post on Tuesday, their sister, Deborah Ancondo, angrily upbraided the Democrats, calling them monsters who do not deserve to be mentioned by name. She also called the politicians pure evil for turning the president's visit into a political issue. It's such a shame that 2 of our local politicians, I refuse to say their names as they don't deserve it, are saying that our president is not welcome on Wednesday. And Kondo wrote on Facebook, I cannot believe how these monsters are using the tragic event to push their political agenda. On the Facebook post, she said, I lost my brother and sister-in-law on Saturday. My family and I are living a horrible nightmare. The visit from our president will be more than comforting to my family. He will not be here for a political agenda. The 2 monsters from El Paso who do not deserve to be mentioned by name, not even the nicknames I have for them, are just pure evil. My brother's body was still laying at Walmart on Saturday night when they decided to make this into a political issue and push their agenda by blaming our president for this, rather than focusing on the situation and the individual who destroyed the lives of many. Those evil people selfishly turned this into a political war. I'm equally as angered by those 2 as I am with the person who took my brother and his wife from me. Typing this, I think I feel more animosity toward those 2 evil politicians. Well, I couldn't have said it better. But that's from the heart of the folks who lost loved ones that are jumping all over those Democrat politicians who are jumping all over the president because he went to visit. If he had ignored that and had not gone to visit, those same politicians would have been jumping all over because he ignored it. So he went to pay his respects as a president should and comfort the people as a president should, and they're making a political issue out of it. They have nothing to run on, folks, except criticism of Donald Trump. If they don't understand or realize, the more they jump on silly stuff and ignorant philosophy of campaigning, the more and more that adds votes to Donald Trump's wagon of votes, I guess I could say. But they don't understand it. Let them talk. Let them run their mouth about giving you everything. I heard one of them now wanted to give, what was it? Give everybody in America $1,000 or something. Maybe it's more than that. Now come on. Now, who in their right mind can believe that's going to happen? All right, 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Sheriff Chris Francis was on with us early. We'll have his report in just a moment. When choosing a hospital or a health system, you should ask what quality and patient safety efforts are being implemented in that organization. For example, at Rutherford Regional Health System, several new quality and patient safety initiatives have been set in place to ensure an even greater level of care for its patients. Under the guidance of the Due Quality Network, Rutherford Regional has begun bedside shift reporting, which emphasizes better face-to-face communication with patients and families. Patient safety huddles also have been started to allow caregivers the opportunity twice a day to review risks of infection, falls, and other harms. An executive patient safety rounding allows our administrators to make sure our clinical staff has the tools they need to deliver great care. Rutherford Regional is proud to make quality and patient safety its top priorities. Hey, if you have a bunch of land covered with trees and you want to develop the land or get rid of those trees, the place to call is Bristol Industries. So they'll buy all types of standing timber. You get a good price, too, from the company that's been in doing this business over 30 years. They've served all of western North Carolina. So if you have acres of standing timber, call Barry Ellenberg and Jacob Schuford. You might as well get top dollar for them. Why give it away? Sell it. Jacob and Barry are trained in this business. All their loggers are insured, and you'll be dealing with a reputable company. Bristol Industries. Call them at 828-584-3335. Again, that's Bristol Industries, Bridgewater Chip Plant, 828-584-3335. All right, Sheriff Francis gave us the report. Let's hear it again. Here it is. Sheriff?
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Ruff County Sheriff's Office responded to 118 calls for service. There were 7 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 185. Among those arrested, Daryl LeJohn Landrum, 45-year-old male of Marion, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear, received a $10,000 secure bond. David Leon Hollifield, 46-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear in larceny, received a $4,000 secure bond. Charles Andrew Bridges, 24-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear in NOL, received a $4,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had larcenies of motor vehicle on Big Island Road. There was a yellow and purple Honda CVR 600 motorcycle displaying a tag of 7M5143, valued at $1,500. Also a black Honda CVR 600 displaying a tag of 556 SPD, valued at $3,500, that was pushed off from an apartment complex there off of Big Island Road early yesterday morning. We have a larceny at Earl's Way, Ruston, and a registration plate, which was PCB 8785, valued at $28, was stolen or missing. We have a attempted B&E on Baber Road. Someone attempted to pry open the garage, but appeared to be unsuccessful. And I also have a B&E off of Pea Ridge Road, but I do not have all the information on that one at this time. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Stay in touch with your tax dollars. Listen to the Commish Report and the School Board Report each month live here on WCAB. The reports are heard the following morning after the meetings. WCAB, keeping you informed as well as entertained.
Now, Sports Update is coming up here in just a couple of minutes, and following that, Dr. Bob in the Blue Room this morning, holding office hours.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. We highlight the minor leagues to get started this morning. Arturo Reyes, Ricardo Pinto, Jose Alvarado, and Hobie Milner combined to record a no-hitter as the Durham Bulls defeated the Syracuse Mets 2-1 last night in Durham. Equally impressive is that this is the Bulls' second no-hitter of the season after they recorded a 7-inning combined no-hitter on July 5th at Gwinnett. On to the show now, where last night the Minnesota Twins, well, they've been putting on a display of power this season at Target Field, but it was the Braves who produced even more. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Freddie Freeman both went deep in an 11-7 victory over Minnesota. The Mets, they're the best team in baseball since the All-Star break. They're now just one game out of a wild card spot after they beat the Marlins last night 7-2. The Yankees, they slaughtered Baltimore last night 14-2 and extended their winning streak to 8 games. They also now have 52 homers against the Orioles this season. That breaks their own major league mark of 48 against the Kansas City Athletics in 1956. The Carolina Panthers open the preseason tonight against the Bears in Chicago. Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly won't be in the lineup. Keeks missed some time at camp last week after he got rolled up on. He wouldn't disclose the nature of his injury, but he said it's not concussion-related.
My head's good. I wasn't in the protocol. Like Coach has said the last few times, I just got rolled up weird, and they said, all right, you're going to sit out, Luke.
Ron Rivera said he's just being cautious with both players. Riverboat, meanwhile, said the obvious plan is to actually limit the time of all the starters. Not uncommon during the preseason. He wants to give as much time as he can to the guys who are competing for a roster spot. Let them show what they can do.
The nice thing is we have 4 games to judge these guys on, but if you play well in the first game, you give yourself an opportunity for the second game to play more, and that's probably the biggest thing that these guys have to understand. And you're telling that to the young guys when we circled up. I told them, I said, we talk about opportunities, so this is one of the biggest opportunities because we're not playing the veterans a lot.
Kickoff from Soldier Field at 8 tonight. This is NCN Sports.
There's no place like home. It has a certain magic all its own. And memories are made there every day. A lifetime of good times shared along the way. Have yourself a Bluebell Country Day.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
A lifetime of good times shared along the way. Have yourself a Bluebell Country Day.
Mike Krzyzewski, who led the U.S. national basketball team to an 88-1 record over his 12 years at the helm, he was alongside his successor yesterday, Greg Popovich, for day 3 of the team's training camp in Las Vegas, this coming ahead of the FIBA World Cup. USA basketball forwards Mason Plumlee and Jason Tatum, both of whom said they relished the chance to spend some extra time with their coach from Duke. Tatum chatted with Coach K for a few minutes after practice and said he got some words of advice.
Happy to see him, happy he's here. So it's been a while since I've seen him. I talk to him often, but always a pleasure to see Coach. More experience, more time I get with Coach. I only got a year with him. But everything he tells me, he means well. He just wants me to do better and be better. So he's a GOAT, so I always listen to what he has to say.
Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Good morning. You can leave your umbrella at home today. Dry weather will return to the forecast with mostly sunny skies and high temperatures in the lower 90s this afternoon. Still a hot day, but a little less humid today. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures fall into the upper 60s to 70 degrees tonight. A mostly sunny day tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s, but a small chance of a storm returns tomorrow evening. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
67 degrees currently here at WCAB Country here in downtown Whiteside Road. Beautiful skies, summer weather coming up into the 80s before, so with no rain in that forecast. Again, congratulations to Kim Murray of Sunshine. Kim works at DSS, and she won the Daylight Donuts this morning from our birthday drawing, and she'll enjoy those, I know. And we do birthdays Monday through Friday, give away donuts. On Saturdays, we give away Mi Pueblito certificates. And right now, though, it's time for this. The following program, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes, is paid for by Dr. Bob Crummy. The opinions expressed on this program by Dr. Crummy are not necessarily those of the owner and staff of WCAB. You are invited to call your questions in live now to Dr. Bob at 287-3356. And now live in the studio, here is Dr. Bob Crummy. Good morning, Dr. Bob.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. It's great to be with you again in the beautiful blue room at WCAB.
Feel mighty spiffy today.
Feel mighty spiffy.
See, good. Yeah.
That's one of the many feelings I have.
That's spiffy. Well, it's when we dress for success, we feel like that way, don't we?
Mm-hmm. I have spent half my morning this morning looking for my bathing suit. You know, I go to Lifestyle every day, and I it's not where I thought I put it.
Oh. Well,
I was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So I've got a pair of Bermuda shorts to take to my workout today.
Yeah, well, that'll work.
Yep.
Have you tried that hydro chair over there?
I have, and that's really good. I like things like that. Things like that work real well because what happens, anytime you can do anything to your body to improve the circulation, getting blood flowing places, a lot of blood, because the blood is taking nourishment to all the cells. And so when you stimulate the back with the rollers going over it, massage the things, what it does is it increases the blood supply. And pretty soon, it increases the blood supply because it dilates all those tiny little blood vessels in your body that very often get closed off for one thing or another. And so it really is amazing. If you do it a few times, you'll do it every day.
Yeah, that's a great addition to the lifestyle. Remind folks they can call their questions in this morning. Phone lines are clear now at 287-3356 if you have a question or an observation you'd like to pass on to Dr. Bob. He'd be glad to answer your questions about how to live healthy naturally. And there's been some questions already got here this morning, Bob, so if you're ready, we'll go with it.
I'm ready.
All right, first question. I've heard that drinking water with lemon can help prevent kidney stones. Is that true?
I don't know, but I've heard the same thing. But the nice thing about it is I tell you what works for kidney stones, Jim, and I learned this from the mountain people when I moved here. One thing that impressed me is I was really taught to learn from my clients, learn from patients, and I've done this. And when I came here, one of the first things I learned about was yellow root. And you take yellow root and you're just not going to you purge yourself with yellow root a couple of times. Well, one of the next things I heard about was the flowering mountain magnolia tree. And I was impressed because what do they mean by mountain magnolia? Aren't magnolia trees just magnolia trees? But it's different. And you can take the bark from that and make you a tea, and it will dissolve the kidney stones. So since I know that works, and I've had that work for a lot of people, I tell everybody that. And it's so easy. Listen, endogenously, those trees grow around here, the flowering mountain magnolia trees, and you can just take a little bit of the bark from that and boil it for 5 minutes and then drink it. And most of the time I've had people tell me, I'll have maybe 3 cups. I'll take one about every 4 to 5 hours. And they say it always dissolves my kidney stone in about 3 to 4 cups.
Yeah.
I've got a cousin from Florida who used to be cursed with kidney stones, and he would be hospitalized every so often and go in, and he came up and got some, and he made his yearly trip, and he would buy. I used to make it in the form of a tea and put it up just like you would tomatoes or things like that. Well, I thought I had to do that, but little did I know that you can get by with just boiling it 5 minutes, Bob. You don't have to boil it 2.5 hours or 2.5 days.
Yeah. Next question. Someone says, I've recently been diagnosed with Gilbert syndrome. What is that? How serious is that?
Gilbert syndrome.
Gilbert syndrome.
I don't know. You hear about these things, but it's like, obviously there's another name for it, Gilbert must be the doctor who described it or had the treatment for it or this sort of thing. So I just don't know right now. I'm going to write that down. Gilbert. Gilbert. I guess.
And sometimes they're discovering new things along the way too. So
now, one thing you can find out, go to your website or get on your computer and go to your search and just write Gilbert syndrome, a medical treatment, and it'll give you everything about it.
Next question, are those anti-aging pills that are advertised helpful?
Yes. Now the proof is in the pudding. Are they helpful 100% of the time to 100% of the people? No. Why? Because their problem is caused by something else. But the chances are, yeah, when you see something like that advertised like it is, most of the time it's really good. And here's another thing too. Make sure the price is right. If the price isn't reasonable, look and you'll find another one that is. In fact, usually the higher the price, the worse the product, with the more side effects. And they're almost always patented.
Next question: Are there natural medicines that help ward off Alzheimer's?
Yes, there are. Now, there are so many of them, and they have different names. Anti-aging, anything that writes about anti-aging, and I tell you who does the best job, in my opinion, this guy named Blaylock, B-L-A-Y-L-O-C-K, Blaylock. And Blaylock's just recently written a book, and I got a copy of it, and it's How to Handle Everything with Natural Cures. And he says that he'd much rather do a natural cure than the orthodox medicine cures with chemistry and radiation and things like that. And he'll give you a list in his book of things. In fact, I got his book with me. And now that was about anti-aging.
Yes, natural medicine that helps ward off Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Now, okay. The one thing he says about, this is Dr. Blaylock's prescription for natural health. He lists 70 different ailments. I'm going to read some of them to you just very quickly. Pain and headaches, depression and anxiety, menopause, diabetes, allergies, Alzheimer's, Parkinsonism, high blood pressure, arthritis, prostate problems, digestion, and many more. He lists 70, and he gives you a diet that you can take for the 70. And also he gives you recommendations about things like, I didn't realize this, but there are certain products that if you drink it or use it on a regular basis, it has a natural healthy effect on your body. One is tea. You know, you hear about green tea and white tea and black tea, and the bottom line is all those teas are good. If you drink them on a regular basis, they're much healthier for you than coffee and things like that, you know. Let me see what he says. He will give a list of, you say anti-aging or Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's.
Okay. Alzheimer's, page 311. Let me see what he says about that real quickly. I actually started off reading that. Yeah, he says that we get in trouble. This is his Alzheimer's and Parkinsonism and things like that. That basically what happens is our brain gets inflamed, so we need to take something that will stop the inflammation in the brain. You know, it's just like when you have shoulder pain, that's because the shoulder joint's inflamed. So if you get that inflammation down, and usually things like an aspirin, a couple of those every 4 hours would do that. He talks about things to avoid. There are certain foods to avoid, and he calls them immunoexcitotoxicity. And those are things that do harm to the brain cells and cause you to have memory loss and confusion and difficulty like that. Let's see. My recommendations, so you're going to like this. This is going to be interesting. His recommendations is stay away from toxins. The toxins do more damage to us than anything else. And the thing we have to watch out for is the foods we eat will have pesticides or herbicides or fungicides in them. They just get sprayed. He talks about the importance of really washing something good, and he's really big for getting organically grown stuff. Other common toxins that should be avoided: dental dental amalgam fillings. Dental fillings. Dental fillings have mercury in them, some of them, so you need to avoid those. Dental products with fluoride, such as toothpaste, mouthwash, and fluoride treatments by dentists. He says avoid all fluoride. Drinking water with fluoride in it, avoid that. Mercury in fish and polluted environments. Aluminum, which may be added to foods and medications, and is also in aluminum foil cans, aluminum cookware, many vaccines, and municipal drinking water. A healthy diet can go a long way in preventing these diseases, both of them. In fact, that's what he's really recommending. And he goes on with his healthy diet. And I recommend anybody listening who was really interesting, go to, let's see, the name of his book is Dr. Blaylock's Prescriptions for Natural Health. And he is very concrete about what to do, and it makes a lot of sense, you know. But it's really surprising because almost everything are things like, you know, if you're overweight, lose weight, stop smoking, and those things really do have the effect. But he really emphasizes the way we get into real trouble is getting the toxins that people spray everywhere, you know, especially the herbicides. What's that big herbicide that everybody uses?
To spray for weeds and all?
Yeah.
Roundup?
What? Roundup, yeah, that's right. Avoid Roundup at all costs, yeah. And aspartame, never drink any Diet Cola with aspartame in it. And just doing those things will probably prevent a lot of people from getting Alzheimer's.
Well, that's good advice, I tell you. Another question: I keep getting canker sores. What can I do to prevent them?
Well, I would say this: aloe vera. I've always had good results with aloe vera, and I've got aloe vera plants. I'll cut off a leaf to a plant, and then I'll slice it like you would a cucumber, and I'll lay it over the canker sore. And if you'll do that 2 or 3 times a day, it will help it heal up quickly. And I would say this, that probably getting some aloe vera juice and just gargling with it and drinking it a couple of times a day. Any kind of aloe vera that you can put on your lips or in your mouth or near the canker sore will help it. In fact, probably, and I hadn't thought of this now, but aloe vera does come in a soft gel. And the chances are you could take an aloe vera soft gel 3 times a day, and that would prevent it. That would also help you clean out your blood vessels if they're clogged up.
Yeah, probably are. Next question: what can be done for sleep apnea?
Well, there are some great herbs that work really well. One is valerian root. Valerian root costs about $3.50, and you get 60 of them, and you just take one about an hour before bedtime. It works like a charm. If you're not asleep in 20 minutes after you try to go to bed at the same time, go to sleep. If you're not asleep in 20 minutes, take another one. And then I always say this to individuals: and if you're not asleep 20 minutes after that, give me a call because I'll tell you what to do and how much to take. But you know, it's a matter of taking the proper amount. But there are some good things for sleep, and one of them is with and it just says Sleep Essentials, and it will list the valerian root in there, and then chamomile and hops, and those all 3 are supposed to be really good for giving you natural normal sleep. In fact, these catalogs that I get, like from Swanson Vitamins, they will call it just, you can get a capsule from them, and they call it Sleep Essentials, and it lists, you know, those things that I just mentioned, and other things too. But they always work. I have never known them not to work now. But sometimes you get a combination of things, like you've got a lot of stress going on in your life, maybe stress from work, stress from a family situation, this sort of thing. And because of that, you start having difficulty with sleep or difficulty with all the systems in your body. Well, in situations like that, there are 3 things that are really good to take. And you don't have to take them all 3 together, but the one is, in the morning, take St. John's wort, just one of them, and try to take it before 10 a.m. And then in the evening, take kava kava. You can take one of those twice a day, and that just keeps you relaxed the whole day. And then at night, take the valerian root. Now, you don't have to take these for the rest of your life. You just take them until you're over the hump, and you keep them in the cabinet, you know, and so that every now and then you need to use them and this sort of thing. One of the big anti-anxiety medications I used to prescribe for people was diazepam or Valium, but I told them all how to use it correctly. And the interesting thing is they might start off by taking it, let's say, as they needed to take it, which might be 2 or 3 times a day, but pretty soon they didn't need to take it but just occasionally. And so one prescription for 100 Valium would last them for an entire year, and that's because they used it properly.
Okay. Next question, what can be done for stress?
Get in non-stressful situations. The first thing you got to do is identify what the stress is, you know, and then you have to do something about handling it. And so the biggest thing is talk, T-A-L-K. But you need to talk in a private setting because you don't want to feel, you want to feel like you can share anything without it being pipelined to everybody.
Here's this question here relates to what you were just talking about sleeping, sleep apnea. But this question, what can be taken to help sleep at night? But you mentioned.
Yeah, I mentioned valerian root,
yeah.
And then just sleep essentials. And you can get these things also at health food stores. Excuse me.
Melatonin, is that a good thing?
Yeah, melatonin is a really good thing. Melatonin, actually, there's a, and I don't know what the dosage is, but there's a dosage that's supposed to be just right. If you take too much of it, it doesn't work that well. If you take too little, it doesn't. But if you take this right amount, and anybody who sells it knows what that is, that it works. But melatonin is good and works for most people. Valerian root works for most people. I'd mentioned the kava, but I like to take that sort of during the day. That's something that will really kind of relax you. But here again, those are things that you need to take it till you're over the hump. And it's kind of like stress may be causing that, but then when you've handled the stress, you know, and sometimes this is, you know, like the stress is a stress in marriage, is a stress at your job, at work, with the children. What's the stress? And now what can I do about it to relieve the stress to stop the problem?
What can be taken for extra energy?
Well, I think right now if you really want something that really works, well, I think of 2 things. And the first thing is CBD. CBD now, that from the hemp plant, is really working for everything like that. And it works very well, and it works right away. Now, when you buy it, it's a good idea to talk to the people who sell it. Right now they're selling it in these green stores, yeah, and green leaf stores. And usually the people who own the store, that's about their only product from the hemp thing, and that's because it was working for everything. And they can give you a lot of information about this. Another thing is if you're over 40, probably taking starting to take coenzyme Q10 will do that. Very often our energy level gets kind of low because we stop making coenzyme Q10, and as we make it, we now have a good energy level. Now I've got a good energy level. You've got a good energy level. I take coenzyme Q10 every day. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. I take 100 milligrams. On occasion, I will take 100 milligrams twice a day. And also, very often people will have abnormal heartbeats, you know, and that kind of scares them because all of a sudden they feel the heartbeat. Well, what will stop that is an herb, hawthorn berry. And so you can actually get hawthorn berry and coenzyme Q10 together, the 100 milligram tablet of coenzyme Q10. And in fact, that's what I had this morning. My wife, Ann, who was just absolutely fantastic with everything, had those tachycardia episodes sometimes, which seems strange to me because she had both feet on the ground and, you know, had it all together, whatever. But the interesting thing is, once I told her about hawthornberry, gave it to her, she took it, she was in love with it. It stopped those abnormal heartbeats right away.
Well, proof's in the pudding, as you say.
Uh-huh.
Got another question. We got about 5 minutes left. What can be done for thrush in the mouth?
Myrrh, M-Y-R-R-H. Myrrh comes in a capsule form, and just unscrew the capsule and put that on a toothbrush and brush your teeth and gums with myrrh. Do that 3 or 4 times a day, and it will absolutely cure any kind of problem with your mouth, thrush, whatever. Now, you can do things, other things that would be, that would sting a little bit maybe, you know, like if you gargled with hydrogen peroxide. You know, if the hydrogen peroxide was a little too strong, it would tingle them for a while. But yeah, hydrogen peroxide would be great, but I would use myrrh. I would think that was good. And I so far I've told a lot of people about it, and they all call me and they say, hey, this really worked well for me, you know, and they're surprised by that. Now, you don't have to keep on using it every day. Once you got the thrush down, you know, you can stop for a while and then just use it every now and then.
You talked about this a while ago about what to do for sleep apnea. Here's a question somebody wants: what causes sleep apnea?
Well, now this is going to sound, I'm going to make it simple. Sleep apnea is caused because you have some problem that you need to be resolving and thinking about and trying to solve or deal with. And what happens is you repress the problem, and the repression is kind of a unconscious defense mechanism. In other words, I forget about it. Let's say if I'm overweight and somebody walks by and they say, Crummy is so fat, he needs to lose weight. Well, if I'm real sensitive about my weight, I don't even hear that. You know, all of a sudden, I never heard it. I push it into my unconscious. When we push in things to our unconscious like that, then we get symptoms like the ones you just mentioned. And it's just a matter now of, the cure for that is just talking to somebody. You can talk to your mate about it, a friend about it. You can talk to a total stranger if you want to about it, you know. But that talking, and the interesting thing is, once we talk spontaneously about our feelings and our thoughts, our symptoms go away. And it's delightful to learn that. It's hard to believe when somebody tells you that, but you know, it really does work.
That's the last question we've had. You got about 2.5 minutes to wrap the program up, Dr. Bob. I know you always come with information.
Well, I'm going to just emphasize again CBD, because I'm still beginning to use that. The other day I bought 4 bottles of it, and I've given samples to people and this sort of thing, and so far it seems to be working well. Some combination that really works well, I said this is St. John's wort in the morning before 10 a.m. or right when you get up, and during the day, maybe, let's say, starting about 12 noon, kava kava, twice a day, maybe at 1 and maybe at 4, and then valerian root at night. Now, don't take it unless you feel like taking it. You know, well, all of those things. But if you're having any problem with anxiety or frustration or depression, you'll find that those things are really real helpful. But it doesn't mean that you have to keep on taking them all your life. You just take them until you're over the hump. Hydrogen peroxide is still great in order to prevent. When I start getting a little medical problems, let's say upper respiratory tract infection or sinusitis or something that's common with folks, all of a sudden I become aware of, hey, I haven't been gargling with my hydrogen peroxide. And so I go back to gargling in the morning when I wake up, and then at night before I go to bed. And sure enough, that's enough to just keep things healthy with me. And I told you about taking the coenzyme Q10. At my age, I take it now, and I think it's really helpful. There have been times when I didn't take it for a couple of days, and I don't know if it was just a psychological suggestion on my part, but I didn't seem to have the energy those days that I usually had. And
you take yours in the morning? Yours?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I take mine at night.
Yeah. Now, I have taken it at night before, too, just to see the difference or whatever, but I don't see much difference in it, you know. Nattokinase is something that I also take, and I take nattokinase because I'll call it a blood thinner for lack of something else, but it's not that. It really makes the blood circulate better, and you get a better blood supply to everywhere in your body better. And then the coenzyme Q10, and then a good multivitamin. I try to take a good multivitamin every day, and I make sure I take me at least 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. In fact, sometimes Linus Pauling suggests that, hey, take a good vitamin tablet, but it doesn't have enough stuff in it. You need to take one that has vitamin A and vitamin E and vitamin C. And those are the three that you need to take extra things in. And I've got a bottle like that, and for some reason they added selenium to it. I don't know exactly why, but selenium's supposed to be a good thing. That a lot of people have problems. They start taking it and they realize, hey, I had the problem because I had a shortage of selenium, whatever that does.
Well, we're out of town this morning. Thanks for being with us. We look forward to seeing you again next week, same time, same station.
I look forward to it. The beautiful Blue Room.
We've had some good questions here this morning, so I'll turn those over to you so you can put them in your next book.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Folks, have a great Thursday. We'll be back here bright and early tomorrow morning with the morning wake-up call at 6 o'clock. We hope you'll join us. Now enjoy this beautiful day.
Poets often use many words to say a simple thing. It takes thought and time and rhyme to make a poem sing. With music and words I've been playing, for you I have written a song. To be sure that you'll know what I'm saying, I'll translate as I go along. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, true. In other words, I love you.
WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The president's visits to Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas turned political. Protesters and supporters both turned out, and there have been tweets. ABC's Ryan Burrow is in Dayton.
Here's what U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, a Democrat, had to say about the president's visit with victims of the Dayton shooting and hospital staff.
He was received well by the patients, as you'd expect. They're hurting.
What did he say to
them? He was comforting, and he did the right things, and Melania did the right things, and it's his job in part to comfort people. I'm glad he did it in that those hospital rooms.
But the president tweeting while on his way to El Paso that failed presidential candidate Sherrod Brown and Mayor Whaley totally misrepresenting what took place inside the hospital, saying their news conference was a fraud. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Dayton.
Mayor Nan Whaley tweeting back, repeating, she says, what she said in that news conference, that the first responders were comforted by the president's presence. More than 200 mayors have written to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell urging him to call the Senate back into session to take up background check legislation. An ICE raid in Mississippi, nearly 700 undocumented immigrants taken into custody. Officials say it was the largest single state administration in history.
Trump administration critics are calling the enforcement draconian and complaining that the operation left numerous children without their parents with no clear indication when they would see them again. Local reports say in some cases, children were taken to a local gym until someone could figure out what would happen to them. But immigration officials are offering no apologies and said they began planning this operation more than a year ago.
ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. Tornadoes are rare in the suburbs of New York City, but one touched down there on Wednesday. ABC's Whit Johnson is in the town of Springfield, New Jersey.
This morning, flights are starting to get back on schedule. Still a few hundred cancellations in the U.S., but overnight, some people were stranded at New York area airports with delays lasting up to 5 hours.
You're listening to ABC News.
Bitcoin is back. Yes, it just rose to over $13,000 for the first time in over a year. Bitcoin is for real, and folks are optimistic that its value will only continue to rise. NobleBitcoin.com has always been on the front end of this digital currency curve and are one of just a handful of companies who really see the potential for cryptocurrency. They see the budding future for rolling over your IRA or 401k into cryptocurrency. A Bitcoin IRA is a smart way to diversify your investments. The NobleBitcoin.com experts are offering a free guide on how to roll over all or a portion of your retirement account into a Bitcoin IRA. Bitcoin is real and it's not going anywhere. Bitcoin is decentralized, which means that only you own it. No banks or central authority have control over your Bitcoin. Call 800-301-5560. Learn more about the future of Bitcoin. 800-301-5560. Noble Bitcoin, the IRA experts. Call 800-301-5560 now. Bitcoin, it's the future.
Police in Orange County, California have a man under arrest after a fatal stabbing spree.
We have a suspect kill 4 people in one day and attacked other people that just are innocent victims. It's pure evil when this happens.
Garden Grove Police Lieutenant Carl Whitney says the rampage in Orange County began at an apartment complex, moved to a Subway sandwich shop, and ended when a security guard was stabbed to death at a 7-Eleven store in Santa Ana. Venezuela's president is reacting to the latest round of U.S. sanctions directed at his country.
Speaking in Caracas, the defiant Nicolas Maduro, through a translator, has singled out President Trump's national security advisor as the key person responsible for bringing more misery to his country.
The terrible fascist John Bolton, the only thing that he thought was to propose to the President of the United States of America was to sign an order for an economic, financial and commercial blockade against Venezuela.
In light of these new sanctions, the Venezuelan government has decided not to attend a new round of talks with the opposition on the island of Barbados. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The New Orleans City Council is about to grant final approval to new strict rules on Airbnbs. The regulations will still allow homeowners to rent out part of their homes, but you'll have to live there. And short-term rentals in places like the French Quarter will be banned. Longtime residents say people are buying up New Orleans properties, renting them out full-time, and altering the character of historic neighborhoods. This is ABC News.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Sherry Preston.
When choosing a hospital or a health system, you should ask what quality and patient safety efforts are being implemented in that organization. For example, at Rutherford Regional Health System, several new quality and patient safety initiatives have been set in place to ensure an even greater level of care for its patients. Under the guidance of the Due Quality Network, Rutherford Regional has begun bedside shift reporting, which emphasizes better face-to-face communication with patients and families. Patient safety huddles also have been started to allow caregivers the opportunity twice a day to review risks of infection, falls, and other harms. An executive patient safety rounding allows our administrators to make sure our clinical staff has the tools they need to deliver great care. Rutherford Regional is proud to make quality and patient safety its top priorities.
From the county seat in Rutherfordton to the foothills of the Carolinas, you're listening to the best of both worlds. 100.9 FM and 590 AM. WCAB.
From ABC Sports, this is Rich Cantu. Around the Diamonds Wednesday, Major League Baseball's walk-off kings struck again.
Ground ball up the middle, into center field for a base hit. Here comes Seager, and here comes Smith. And the Dodgers have won it again in the bottom of the ninth.
On KLAC, down to their final out, Russell Martin came through in the clutch for the Dodgers, topping the Cardinals 2-1 for their 10th walk-off win this season. In Baltimore, the Yankees continued to enjoy their home away from home at Camden Yards.
Now the 3-1. Swung on, hit in the air to deep left center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone over the first bullpen into the second bullpen. Wow.
On WFAN, the Yanks hit 5 home runs for the third straight game in a 14-2 rout of the Orioles. This is ABC Sports. First round of the FedEx Cup playoffs teeing off this morning from Liberty National Golf Club. Tiger Woods was limited at the Pro-Am event yesterday due to stiffness and soreness in his back. Woods is expected to tee off shortly before 8 a.m. Eastern. A source confirmed to ESPN that a mysterious foot injury to Oakland Raiders star receiver Antonio Brown is extreme frostbite caused by a cryotherapy machine. Brown was not wearing proper footwear when he used the machine, burning both of his feet. ESPN NFL analyst Ryan Clark says the Raiders should be breathing a sigh of relief.
I feel a lot better about what he's dealing with, that this isn't something that's structural. It's not like he has a tear or there's a slight fracture in the bone.
The All-Pro receiver has not practiced since July 30th. Back to baseball. In an afternoon matinee, the surging Mets continued to make up ground in the National League wildcard race.
Now the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Well hit left center. It's got some legs. Brinson back. It may go. Home run! Pete Alonso hits it over the Great Wall of Flushing.
On WCBS, the Mets would homer 4 times as they swept the Marlins 7-2. New York has won 13 of its last 14. Colin Kaepernick says he's still ready to return to the NFL. In a video posted to social media, Kaepernick has remained unsigned since he opted out of his contract with the 49ers in March of 2017. This is Rich Cantu, ABC Sports.
Good morning. You can leave your umbrella at home today. Dry weather will return to the forecast with mostly sunny skies and high temperatures in the lower 90s this afternoon. Still a hot day, but a little less humid today. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures fall into the upper 60s to 70 degrees tonight.